Welcome back to another salubrious. Salubrious.
Dog, stop using words of me.
No, it's very salubrious, dog. Very salubrious episode of Birds of a Feather.
No, me have to go check where me.
Yeah. Just pull it
I
up.
can't even spell it. So like something coming in a Marvel movie.
Yeah. It's actually a Dragon Ball Z. You get it from Frieza. But we digress.
Yes, we digress.
Welcome to another episode of Birds of a Feather. My name is Stephen. This guy, on whichever side he's on, is Chinoy. It's Chinoy. And today we're going to be talking about breakups.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I can't believe he did that. Or she did that.
Yeah, how do you handle them? How do you break up? You know what I mean? What does breakup mean to you? So that's what we're going to kick it off. And actually, Chinoy, we're going to start it with you.
Stop pointing, bro. You don't know
tell us. Tell us. Tell us, Chinoy. Tell us about your story.
I break up with people.
Do you find yourself, no, before we get into that, do you find yourself being the instigator of the breakups, or are you typically more the one being broken up with?
Oh, I'm definitely the one being broken up with. Sir, I am the one who's more than say 85-50% people break up with me.
Oh yeah,
and
why is
also,
that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Because me not like go through, me not like break up with people.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so even after you know the relationship done, you will be like, them know too, so maybe just wait on them.
Yeah, or instigate it by doing things where it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
It's just recently. More I say, maybe 6-7 years where more like if something happen, I'll leave.
Yeah.
Before me, I am not. It's awkward. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I was never very good at breaking up. I'm gonna find that people always break up with me much better.
Yeah.
Because part of it was I never felt what they felt. You understand? So I never want, like, I knew what breaking up with somebody, what they would feel is not what I would feel. And I would just rather them feel that way, because whether or not they break up with me or not, me pretty much did feel a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
Because me did go through one breakup before that kind of did hard me a little bit.
Yeah.
You understand? So after that initial breakup, I was just like, yo, I was always 1 foot out anyway.
You say you got a ice box where your heart. Would you use that terminology?
I would say at that time I did.
Yeah. Would you say
I don't anymore
because of global warming?
It has melted.
Has no melted.
Yeah. So that has always been how I navigated things. No, recently, they still break up with me, but it's not because I instigated it.
Yeah.
Real problems and issues. That has caused these breakups.
Grassroots issues.
Yeah. What about yourself?
I am typically the one doing the breakup.
Because you have no heart.
Bro, please. Bro, break up. I don't like breaking up with people. I hate, like, it is one of the worst things. And when I say that, I don't mean like, I know it's a necessary thing to do, but I dread every minute. Like, my worst thing is like seeing the heartbreak in somebody's face. That is an experience I do not like to live, and I've lived it more times than I have wanted to. It's not like I'm out here like breaking hearts on a regular. I know,
but you're a heartbreak kid.
Yeah, but like as I say, I've only been in a few serious relationships, And each of them, like I was the one that broke up with the person. And it was always like, it's never just like, oh, you know what? You're right. We should break up. Never that. Never that.
Even when that is the part.
Even when that is the thing that makes sense. Yeah, even if we know, it's been disintegrating. It's never been, oh yeah, you know what? Sweet. I'm glad you came to that. It's
why you think that is?
I don't know. To be honest with you, like, 'cause it's not, I'm telling you, because a lot of the reasons why we broke up, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it's because of something that I was doing to them. It was more of a situation where I feel that I was being misunderstood. And because of that misunderstanding, it causes certain reactions in them that I did not want to continue to deal with, and that I think wasn't palatable for the long term. You know, you know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, because that is my thing. It's like, all right, is this something that's going to require this person to change? And this is how I look at it. Before I like think of breaking up, I'm like, all right, is this something that is going to require this person to change? Okay. If it is this something that this person has expressed that they want to change? Because if it isn't, then I'm not in the changing people game, right?
Profession.
Yeah. I'm not in that game. So if it's a situation where, I do this thing and I don't like that I do it, and I'm sorry that I'm doing it to you, but I'm working to change it, and me and you can work to change it, all right, we can try to stick around through that. But if it's something that, I need to be changed and you don't see it as a problem, like, then there's just no solution.
But I guess what we really want you get to is if both parties know that this should be the solution. Why is it?
Yeah.
That.
Well, because there's always
so difficult.
Because I think there's always the thing of, well, this is what I've heard. This is feedback that I've gotten. I've gotten feedback that I've given up too quickly, right? So even though it's a problem, right? Even though it's a problem, they're saying that it's a problem that could be worked through with perseverance and grit. And I'm saying I am not.
Yeah.
I am not doing that because I do not see it as, and I can say it actually, that, all right, so my tolerance level for stuff and like willing to work through stuff has improved, right? So if you talk about at the beginning, like when in earlier relationships, like it was very close to zero, right? And then very close to zero.
Improving wasn't that hard.
Yeah, it was. It's just like, all right, this not work for me anymore. I'm old. But what would happen is after I break up, so there's been situations where I break up and gotten back with somebody and I break up with them again, which is like double heartbreak. It was terrible. But it's like, all right, so you start off, I was talking about this is earlier relationship, right? So you start off, for me, I'm like on a trajectory of like working things out more as we go along, right? So the first time is just like, yeah, this not work for me. Oh, bye. And then the second time was just like, all right, we can fight through some stuff. And then we get to another thing that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to fight through this. And then I'm out. And then the next time we'll take the learnings from that and we apply it to the next one. And then, you know what I mean? Take the learnings and apply. But I'm still at the point where if I do not see a solution, I am out. I'm gonna, and it's not going to catch you out of left field. You're not going to be like, oh, whoops, didn't know that. Like, they're gonna voice it. It's gonna be, but like but what happens is like I make the decision very sometimes, most actually all the time, unilaterally. I'm gone. Unilateral decision, dog. Executive order signed by the president. I am gone. I am gone. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes. I think that is where. I think that is where, even though we both know that it's never been anything that it's just like, oh man, but it's like, we're rocky right now. The solution could either be to break up or to fight through it. but I didn't see the fight through it necessarily. They may have seen the fight through it as something that could work.
I am the complete opposite of that. Starting out, my tolerance level was very high.
Yeah.
I know it is depreciating.
Yeah. Is it at a 10-year low?
Bro, it is at a 10-year low, bro. In the beginning, I was the fighter. So I held on because I must say, breaking up wasn't something that I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, okay, you know what I mean? We'll be in it and knowing that nothing not changed, knowing it's not going anywhere, and just to like spare like her feelings, I would just be like, whatever. And then eventually it just click and I would just be like, all right, I'm gonna just stop calling a couple times. I'm gonna have like I'm gonna have an attitude, you know what I mean? Just try these things just to help her, move her along.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, a little bit.
Yeah. And then it would always just be, well, I can tell that this isn't what you want. I'm like, no,
why would you
not
say
like
that?
No. I'm like, well, you're not showing me, and I'm like, I know, you know, but I just have to focus on myself. And then,
that is such a girl thing.
Bro,
I just want to take some time.
It isn't you, it's me.
Yeah,
bro.
No.
Anytime
you break up, it's you. It's you. No, you. It's you. You are the reason.
even if it's me. Even if it's that person, I would always, bro. I breaking up is I hate breaking up.
No, it is the worst. It is the worst.
It's not a good feeling. It on both sides.
Yeah.
But I think even less for me.
Yeah. Because for me, it's just like heartbreak, like to see somebody that you care about go through heartbreak, knowing that you're the one that caused it, is very tough. Very, very, very. But not as tough as going through the heartbreak itself.
Yeah.
but it is pretty tough.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right. So I guess we can go over to how do you break up with people?
Oh, yeah. So, man, it's all, as I said, because I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Always, like, have you ever broken up somebody? Like, I've never
in
done
person.
It. Like, oh, I always do in person. Always. Like, I have to. I can't do over the phone or by text. I have to. It has to be in person. Has to.
Wow.
Yeah, but which is why it's always a turbo, right? Because it's just like, oh, all right. When can I
go?
Yeah, like when do I go? Because
yeah,
you know, and it's not like, oh, it's not great. It's just all right. We're not together anymore. You are clearly going through a lot of pain that I just caused you. Should I be around for this?
Yeah.
Is
this helping?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then the other thing is like, oh yeah, you just stabbed me. I know you want to help me stitch it up.
Make up your mind.
Yeah. Which one is it? So yeah. So for me, I always go in person. And I always like let them know, hey, we need to talk. Right. But I always try to, but it's always coming on the back of like it never came out of left field, like we just had a great night. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Always in person.
That's a shot and a stab.
Yeah. That is
and they only need one.
Yeah.
No need for both.
Don't need more.
I have never broken up in person.
What?
Never.
You just send a quick text.
I have the heart, Dad.
Okay, bye.
I don't have the heart. I've also never texted it.
Okay.
It's always been a phone call.
Oh man.
I don't have the heart.
Yeah.
Like people break up with me in person.
Yeah.
But I have never broken up with somebody in person. I literally don't have the heart.
Yeah.
Like as you say, there's so many variables. And my pride myself on somebody who can like maneuver in a certain situation.
Yeah.
Bro, cannot
that
maneuver.
One you cannot maneuver.
We cannot maneuver.
What do you think would happen? Like, what do you think you would do? Just ball with them?
Probably. Like,
yeah.
Me would have end up asking for who and me.
Yeah. You know, I just broke your heart, but this is really tough for me. It's so tough for me.
You just hold me.
Yeah.
Just hold me. You know what I mean? Yeah, but no. I have no idea. I don't know. More and do like for me it like the faster we can do it. It and like it have to be a cut. Like a cut. Because I feel like when I'm in person, it becomes like a deeper conversation. And I can't cut. I run the risk of being talked back into which has happened before. You understand what I'm saying? Like if like there was a situation where a girl break up with me, but then kind of like invite me out for closure. You understand what I'm saying? And then we meet up.
So
bro,
fake. Not the name
bro. That happened to me a couple times at least.
So she break up with you and want closure.
I'm just saying, bro.
But I know that. That don't make sense to me. She's the one breaking and she want closure.
Closure. But all right, check this out. The first one that break up with me, the closure what she didn't want was she tell me say she jumped to conclusions. You understand? So I guess let's not call it closure. Let's just say she didn't want to meet for a talk about the situation because she was very abrupt in breaking up. So it was like, yo, and then gone. And then she called me. I was like, yo, let's meet for drinks.
Too late, bitch.
Yeah. Wow.
Too late. New phone, who this?
So we meet up and she talk and she's like, well, you know, I wasn't looking at it from your perspective or whatever. So we'll get back together. The chances of that happening is much greater than when we meet up.
So when you break up, you just call them break up and you just dash for the phone.
No. But what is that separation? You dig? The phone, the separation of not like being in the presence of the person, like me not feel the same connection. So over the phone, me can be like, yeah.
Oh, I
you know
see.
What I mean? Like me can be that guy. You understand what I say? And then eventually when it's just like, all right, you know, I gotta go. Then me just gone. There's no hugging. There's none of that. You know what I mean? We can just cut it. Cut and print. And that is it. But when me there's just too many things involved with in person. You understand? Like, do I do it at my place or her place or a public place? And then does she blow up? As me not like that. Like, I'm not the person who in a public everybody needs to know what happened. But then also she might start crying. And then that is another thing. Like, it have too many moving parts. It's too many. So break up with me. Help. To help you. That's just all. Yeah. I can't do in person. I don't think I can.
Yeah, no, that's the only way. Because if my hand the phone, I feel like I give them the respect that they
reserve. The most respect.
Yeah.
I'm giving them the most respect. Bro, nothing but respect is what I mean.
I'd love to find out from them what they thought. If you were giving them the respect that they required.
Yeah, it would be good.
It
would be good.
But it's funny that you talk about like being taught back into relationship, because that is very likely to happen at the team, which is worse because as I said, there's nothing good about breaking up except the actual aftermath, right? Because as I say, no good relationship ends in divorce, right? The divorce is not, or the breakup is not the thing. It's the aftermath. But the breakup itself is terrible.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not breaking up because the person did. Like if the person cheated on me and I found out and I'm breaking up with them, I really don't care. You know what I mean? I really don't care how you
wouldn't care.
It's just like, yo, man, break up with you. Oh, all right, well, deal with that. You know what I mean? But if it's a situation where you know, it's like we still care about each other, but we just don't see it working out. Right? That is a tough one because it's
bro,
like,
bro, I have a story
about
about
this
that.
person. All right, run it.
I definitely have a story for later about that.
Yeah.
In our segment.
Yeah.
So that was a great segue.
Yeah.
So the next question, which is, how do you deal with breakups?
So man, breakups are I don't deal well with, when I say I don't deal well, not that like, but like, so if I break up with somebody, like I don't typically try to like go back with them.
Yep.
But I always end up in some after breakup. Special. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's always some,
after
and there always, there always ends up being a second breakup. You know what I mean?
So you're not back with them, but there's a second.
No, we're not back with them. No, yeah, like it's the discussion is so heavy that it's like a breakup again.
It's like a breakup again.
You know what I mean? That always happens to me. Always. So,
have you ever been crushed by a breakup?
Again, only when I was a little youth. You know what I mean? That's kind of phone. Yeah. But I feel like that's so long ago, and it's like it doesn't have any like. It's not like after that breakup. No, because it was one of those things where it's not like after that breakup, I'm like, oh, I can't trust these. They're only gonna cheat on you. Like I didn't have that. You know what I mean? Actually, I was just like, well, that happened. Move on to the next person. Trust this person the same way. And you know what I mean? Judge everyone on their own merit. So I wouldn't say that it has like hardened my heart or anything like that. But I did that one. I definitely cried for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen you cry, Nick.
Yeah, I think that was probably the last
first and the last time you cried.
I think so. And it wasn't, and you know, when I tell that story to people, they're like, oh yeah, you know, typical girl breaks your heart and you become a hard. Yeah. But I'm just like, but it wasn't a situation where just like it happened and I was just like, oh, no one's ever gonna see me cry again. It just hasn't happened. Like I still feel deeply, and like there's times I'm still like sad, very sad, but the tears just don't fall down my eyes. It just don't fall. It just don't fall.
Bro, so, bro, it's happening on the inside, bro.
Yeah. I know.
Behind the eyelids.
But handling breakup is tough. As I said, because I've only been in a handful of relationships. And these are always like, I think the thing for me is like it takes me longer to get into a relationship with somebody, right? So when I do, like this person tends to mean a lot to me. Right. So when we break up with the person, it's like I'm losing somebody who I cared a lot about. But if the person is still around and there's still residual, you know, I think the best way is to be clean and cut it. And that's it. But there's always a little door that's open. You know what I mean? And it's
a jar.
Yeah. When it's a door, not a door. When it's a jar.
Good times.
I think that. But in terms of like, as I said, because I haven't been heartbroken, so to speak. I felt really sad, but I was the one doing the breakup. You know what I mean? And I was more sad about how I made them feel, as opposed to being sad that the relationship was over. If that makes sense. So it was it's one of those things where, so for me, dealing with a breakup, like it's more dealing with the heartbreak of the person from my experience, you know what I mean? Because I haven't had any bad breakups. I haven't had any breakups where people showing up to my house want to stab me and all of these things, or people, you know, keying my car, that type of thing. So it's been pretty good from that perspective.
Good. Well, good on you.
Yeah. Have you had to dodge a few stabs, sir? Have you had to?
I had to bob and weave a couple of
times. Yeah.
No, I've had one bad breakup. Where this person ended up spitting on me. Yeah.
You were spat upon?
Yeah, I was spat upon, sir? Which is better than getting shot upon.
Yeah. I've never had any of those happen to me, but I would be in agreement.
Yeah, that's not happened to me. The first one, yes. The second one, no. But
come on,
she definitely did spit on me.
Just disgusted with your entire being.
And I broke up with her that time, and that was the in-person one.
Oh, so, was this early? Was this early?
23, 22, 23.
Okay, and then that's when you're like, no one will ever spit upon me again.
No one will spit upon me.
If it's over the phone.
Yeah.
It's all I
did.
It's all I know.
Definitely.
That's the last
Definitely got spot on.
Yeah,
damn.
That was not very dramatic still.
Huh?
That is very dramatic.
Absolutely.
Damn.
Unnecessary. But it wasn't out of character.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Because she was a very what a word. She was one of them people who create excitement when there needed to be none.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic. Like in public, it didn't matter where it was.
Yeah.
In public, in front of people, it was one of those things. And but funny enough, I did break up with her over the phone. And then she showed up at my house.
To speed upon you, son.
She showed up at my house.
Yeah.
Win me back. And I was like, nah, fam.
Yeah.
Nah, fam. That's why I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Did not work. Yeah, so my mother come out and was like, yo, move this from right here somewhere. That happened.
In your mom's home, sir.
At my mother house that came up. Worst thing. Anyway, so how I deal with breakups? Usually I have gotten the first breakup I ever had was probably the worst breakup in terms of what happened after the breakup. You know what I'm saying? The breaking up part wasn't that bad. It wasn't anything to like write in the news about, but how I feel afterwards was terrible. And if you remember mother tell it, she was like, oh, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna believe her.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? She was like, I wasn't eating, but didn't always have an attitude.
Oh man. Man's heartbroken.
Man's heart was popped up.
Yeah.
Popped up.
Salty.
Yeah, got a little bit of salty on it. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
And then I think that, as I said, that did kind of harden the way of deal with things after that for a while. And then pretty recently, something else happened with my breakup. And it wasn't as bad as the first one, but it did hurt. It did come and say. And how many deal with that was, I think maybe just get under somebody else.
The best way to get over someone
is to get
is to get on now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
To numb the pain. I can get so now. You hear me? So that was how that worked out.
Okay.
And pretty much that is how we usually deal with a breakup.
Back in the streets.
Back in the streets until you can say, all right, I am over it.
Yeah.
Then that is what happens.
Yeah. For me, like it's like a song.
Scumbaggish.
Not scumbag, but a sound heartless can make it say, like the 2 weeks after breaking up, I'm kind of not really into, but after that, I'm good again.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sound great. It's like,
that sounds fine to me. Bro, you gave 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's all fine to me.
Yeah. And again, because I know I haven't been in a situation where I was heartbroken. Maybe I would react differently in such a scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I'm the one doing the heartbreaking, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm free. Time to just fuck. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. So yeah.
All right. So for the masses, Steve, since you're such a guru at breaking, what are some of their tips and tricks?
The tips and tricks
of your best practices.
Breakup best practices.
breakup
best practices.
What works? What doesn't work?
Man.
How do you go about breaking these hearts, bro?
Well, first of all, there's no good way to break up with somebody, I don't think. But I think there's a bad way. And that is how you have been doing it. I think there's a bad. I think, for example, I'd be so upset if somebody break up with me over the phone. I would be.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'd be pissed off. Especially if it was like, if it wasn't like I was planning to break up with you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. If it wasn't like we knew for sure, like if you're breaking up with me for a reason, that you know what I mean? And you're just like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore.
What if I send you a text saying we need to talk?
Oh, I've gotten enough of those texts where I'm like numb to it now. Just like, all right, what do you want that about? Must stop worry about what could
stop attach that to something something crazy.
Yeah,
serious.
no, but I know something great that will come. But we just like bring it. What do we
like?
Yeah, it's been because I've gotten way too many of those. We need to talk things. So it's just like, all right, let's go. What is it? What do we need to talk about? Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? But for me, I think best practices for me, and when I say best practices, I mean I don't believe there's a good way to break up with somebody because it's always a heartbreaking situation and somebody's getting hurt, right? But the least I can do, I believe, is like come tell them in their face. But there's also some people who don't want you to break up with them in person, who would rather you not see them cry and do all of that. So they would rather to hear that news over the phone. So it's hard to say. I don't think there's any best practice.
There is no best practice.
Yeah. I think it just depends on the person that you're with.
How would you know him?
You don't.
You psych them out? You're like,
you're just like, hypothetically.
I'm joking.
Hypothetically, what if, perchance, this would never happen, but what if perchance?
It would never happen.
It would never happen.
Ever.
What if perchance? That should be a first date question. How do you like to be broken up? We need, Barry, like when you have love languages, we need breakup languages.
Breakup languages, yeah.
And then you like everybody, my love language is this. Tell me what your breakup language.
Yeah.
What's your breakup language? How do you like to be?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I personally like gifts. Break up with me using gifts. What were you?
Oh my God. That's good. That's a good one. I don't have any best practices. I just have worst practices, clearly.
Worst practices.
I only have worst practices.
Worst practices, that's the best.
It is very clear, bro, that what I'm doing is not the right way. But that is the way I know. And outside of that, you can break up with me. That at least you would feel empowered. And like you're the one who's doing it.
You're in charge.
You're in charge. I'm here just to please.
I'm at your mercy. You're home.
Take it away. All right. We might have touched on it, but do you have a worst breakup story?
Just the one. Just the one that we touched on earlier. That was it. As I said, that's been so long ago, like it's not relevant to my life in any way.
Well, so the worst breakup one, let me tell you, with somebody, that was me breaking up with she.
Spat upon.
I got spat upon. More say there's another one, which is worse for a different reason.
Because it was an emotional hurt.
Because it was an emotional.
And you can wipe off the spit and go.
You cannot
wipe off your heart. She spat upon your heart.
You know what? I'm gonna get it out, and
Yeah.
that's going to be the end of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So met this girl, and she was a little bit further along in life than me. I was still in college, still live with my mother. Them kind of things there, like before, but she wanted to get married pretty soon. She wanted to have a kid pretty soon, and she made that known. You dig? And when we just start out, as me say, like we should have probably just cut it there. So when she said that, I know that is not what I wanted at that time. But I just figure, you know what I mean, she talk, all right, whatever. So like 6 months go by and it never come back up. But then eventually it come back up more as like maybe the 8th month. And then it became like a pressure situation. Like, yo, you know, I want to get married. I want to have another. Yo, should already have a kid.
Yeah, should or get off the pot, bro.
Yeah.
Should or get off the pot.
And she was like, yo, I really like you, whatever. I love you. We were at love at the time. I'm going one day. I'm just like, yo, like, me did stay with her, and then I stay with her for like a night or two, and then I go home, and then it was like, them 2 days was like, she was like auditioning for become like a wife, you dig? And just like, I do the most, you dig? I mean, I say, that's not even what I want. You know what I mean? I don't know if me even want to really date somebody with a kid. Like, it was all the thing in my mind, me just try to have fun or whatever. Have fun, but also have a little bit of purpose. But she was just like, yo, she want to have a kid or whatever. So I was like, all right, we need to end this now. So I handed down the phone. I go on, call her, and bro, I think from call her, I'm gonna say, you know, I've been thinking, it went downhill.
Yeah.
Bro. Whoa! Oh, the waterworks, fam. The waterworks. I can be better. I can do different. I mean, I said, no, that is not even the case. You think it is not, like, in this situation, it is definitely not you. You are entitled to want what you want. You're not supposed to change for me, especially the fact that I didn't even know if that's something I want. You know what I mean? Like, the more I explain that, the worse it can get done. Because all she hear is, I don't want you. Something what me did expect. Like, me I say, all right, I'm going to designate 30 minutes to this.
No longer. Not a minute,
30 minutes.
30.
Bam. Almost about 4 hours now.
Yeah, that's on about right. That's on
4 hours. Right. Every time I'm like, all right, you know, I'm going to go, no, we got to talk about this. I mean, I say, but I feel like we talk 3 hours already.
4 is the right amount.
But why? Why can't you? I mean, I say, you have to understand. Like, I'm not where I'm at in my life. But we could work it out. I mean, I say, John knows that.
Yeah.
Me therefore, me definitely a weaker man. A weaker man, sir, would have given in.
Yeah.
And given up. But I held fast.
Held
my goal.
Yeah.
And on that level, that was the worst one. Emotionally. That I ever had. That was rough. Rough in the streets, bro.
Yeah, that's so dope. Well then.
But we're always on the other side. She is happily married.
Yes.
And has had her kid.
Yes.
Her other kid. And wish her all the best.
Yes. Good luck, Chinoy is your name.
Yeah. Good luck, Chinoy.
Yeah.
That's that. So all you ladies.
You're trying to get married.
Yeah. Find me.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe.
I believe.
Yeah. So that was a great chat. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep the conversation going. Tell us about your breakup stories. Tell us about if you would rather talk to somebody, break up with them in person, like that guy, or break up with them over the phone, like because we're just trying to be the best.
Just trying to live out here, yeah.
Understand. So, how do you deal with relationships? Do you Do you get on somebody else, or you get on pills, or you get on drugs?
What is your coping mechanism?
What is your coping mechanism? It is fair game in the competition. Yeah. All right. So until the next video, signing off.
Alrighty. Bye.
Peace.